Okay, so this is our 29-gallon fish tank I was talking about earlier. It has all live plants and fish. We have this glass top that goes on with an automatic fish feeder. Has all sorts of plants. The interesting thing is that plant over there with the interesting leaves and stems that go upwards was actually a seed that we put in there. We didn't know what was going to come up. Another interesting thing about it is it shot up these leaves over here, which like absorb all the light, and it's pretty cool. So this tank, it has a Serpae tetras, neon tetras. It also has platies, danios, and some fancy guppies, and some catfish. It used to have some rams. What else did it have? Pleco,
Gourami.
and gouramis.
Dwarf gourami.
Yeah. It had a lot of other fish of the same type, but they died from plagues, unfortunately. So this tank has a lot of hornwort at the top, on this side and that side, with duckweed, and some of the moss right there. This fish tank uses a canister filter, like that, and it's pretty much set. Something cool about this fish tank is, you see these smaller platies? They were actually born in the fish tank, along with that guppy right there, and a few other ones, but I don't remember which ones. So up here is where all the babies really hide, because it's really dense and it's hard for the adult fish to eat them. So if you look carefully, you can see one of the baby platies like swimming inside of this hornwort area. It's very safe for him. So this is our 10-gallon, the first fish tank that we have. It has a automatic fish feeder on top. This fish tank, we first put 3 African cichlids inside, but they attacked each other, so we had to rehome them back to the shop. After that, we put 2 goldfish and a betta fish inside. We tried putting 2 algae-eating fish, but they got attacked and almost swallowed by the goldfish, so we put them into our 29-gallon tank. We'll show you that later. So currently, this fish tank has a few snails inside, has a Amazon sword, that's the only one I remember, a few others like this colorful one and this one that's like parasitical kind of. Also has like some floating duckweed plant at the top and hornwort. You can see that right there. Just a few days ago, the betta fish started to attack the goldfish, and he killed one of them, and the other one was trapped in the corner, this corner, and he was just getting absolutely mauled, unfortunately. So I put the betta fish into my personal tank. So right now this tank will be empty. We will be putting something else in here in a future video. This is what the fish tank looks like. Okay, so this is our saltwater fish tank. It has a bunch of live corals like old man's beard, some torches, hammerhead, bunch of other live corals. It has this fish, we don't actually know the name, but we just call it Zelensky fish because it looks like it's called a damsel? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we just call it Zelensky fish though because it looks like the Ukrainian flag. We have 2 clownfish inside, 1 fire shrimp, a mandarin dragonette. If you look carefully, you can see it. Yeah. Also has a clam at the top, you can see. Some blue-legged hermit crabs. This tank used to have a emerald crab, which died earlier today, sadly.
I also found the dead body of a blue-legged hermit.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not sure what's going on with this tank. You can see here that very expensive torch coral. Behind it are two of its skeletons, its heads, have kicked out
Oh, can't really get
the
a good
very
view.
valuable polyps. Those are gone forever.
Oh,
You
can't-
see that?
Yeah, we.
And I'm very concerned that this is the beginning of the death of this coral, which I've only had for 1 week.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, we also have a
So
major.
stay tuned.
We also have a major algae problem. Like, there's
Yeah.
algae everywhere. We tried getting like an algae eating fish.
He died.
Yeah, he died. We also had like a
Emerald crab,
what was that tiny blue one? The tiny alien bob thing.
goby.
Yeah, we had a small goby thing,
Blenny.
Blenny,
Yeah, tail
and it
spot.
died. Something interesting is
Urchin
yeah,
doing well.
sea urchins like having a feast right now. Something interesting is that the snails that we have in here have given birth to like tiny baby snails. You could see,
Yeah, move back. Yeah, there you go.
yeah, like that, in there. So that's cool. So
Did you talk
yeah.
about fire shrimp?
talked about the fire
What
shrimp,
about the brain coral?
brain coral. Yeah,
Open brain.
that's an open brain coral thing.
So cool.
Yeah, pretty interesting. We have
This
like rock
coral's
flower
dying,
anemone.
too. He's
Yeah,
dying.
the tennis ball one is dying. It used to be really big, but somebody knocked it over. We don't know who.
And also the water parameters
Yeah.
have been too volatile.
Yeah, the water changes rapidly around these parts. So yeah, not the most stable tank, but it is what
Most
it is.
beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Our quarantine tank, where we quarantine after multiple plagues, we now have a quarantine tank, so we can make sure the fish that come in don't have diseases. We do it for our saltwater and freshwater fish that we have. This tank, we accidentally electrocuted one of the fish because
Many of them.
yeah, many of them actually, because the heater was messed up. Unfortunately, we got a new one. But yeah, this is where we actually found out where we had pregnant guppies because they gave birth in this tank, and we actually had a few of them, which is cool. That are inside of our 29-gallon fish tank. Yeah, so that happened. We now quarantine all of the fish that we acquire now. It's pretty good because it has caused less plagues in our fish tanks. So this is my personal fish tank. As you can see, we put the beta fish in here. He was just getting too big and aggressive, and he killed the other fish he was in. He's a nice color. We have this lamp for lighting. All these are live plants. We have these small grass-like plants. I think they're like growing really fast because we put some brine shrimp and they just fell down and they weren't eaten. It originally had 5 ghost shrimp in it, but they all died. I think it was just too cold for them. But if you can look down here, we have a dwarf African frog. You can see him right there. He's just hanging out. And yes, I put a guppy in here, but it died like a month later. So hopefully this beta fish is more hardy. And yeah, this is my setup.